Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to do a tutorial on SQL order by. And I'm going to give you some examples like these. And I'm going to give you an overview of what it is, show you how to sort in a spreadsheet, which is very similar to sorting with order by in SQL. I'll briefly mention about this star database, and then you'll have a link to where you can actually try out order by yourself. Okay, so let's get started. So first is what is the order by statement? It's basically a way to sort rows by given columns, and it needs to come after another proper SQL query. And order by in SQL is similar to sorting in a spreadsheet. And the basic syntax is some SQL query, order by some column. This means ascending or descending. And I'm going to show you several examples in this video, and hopefully you can get some practice with this. Okay. Now, what I quickly want to do is that, as I mentioned, a spreadsheet is very similar to SQL, or at least there's anyways, what I'm going to show you is, let's say you have data like this. This is salary data. And let's say you want to order, so we have name, career, yearly salary, gender, age group. And let's say you wanted to sort by, for example, yearly salary. I'm using only Office. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do sort by yearly salary. And I'm going to do descending. So for example, this person makes the most, and these two people make the least. That was sorting by this column. And we could have also sorted by age. Let's sort by age, and let's sort by age ascending. Okay, so you can see here we have the youngest people at the top and the oldest at the bottom. And it's very similar in order by with SQL. Okay, so now I'm going to show you, this is called MySQL Workbench. And I'm going to show you running the commands directly, and then what's unique about MySQL Workbench is that you can have the view of showing the code and also see the output very easily. Okay, so let's get started. So I have these first two commands, and we don't need to, I can show you this. Show tables. This will, I'm going to use these two tables, salary and star data, and I'll discuss this. First, I want to show you the salary data. And it's the same as what I showed you. This is the salary data, the same data. And right now I did select star from salary, and what that does is and it's good form to capitalize the SQL key terms. Okay, so that shows you everything. Now let's say, for example, we have the name, career, age, and yearly salary. We want to select these four columns from the salary column. Now let's order by, that means sort by, and let's sort by age. And by default, it's always, I think I forgot to mention here, by default, order by will sort in ascending order. If you want to sort in descending order, you have to use the DESC command. And you can use the ASC command or keyword, but it's unnecessary, but it may make it more clear. Okay, so let's order by age. So we have this data. We see the youngest people are at the bottom, and then the oldest is at, the youngest is at the top, and the oldest is at the bottom. Now let's do similarly, but instead of sorting by the age, let's sort by the yearly salary, ascending, and again by default is going to be this. So we don't actually need it, but later we can actually use it if we want. So let's sort by the yearly salary. So the people with the lowest yearly salary are at the bottom, and then the highest. Okay, at the top is the lowest, and at the bottom is the highest salary. Now let's do similarly, but instead of going from ascending, so instead of going from lowest salary to highest salary, let's go from highest salary to lowest salary. And the DESC, that means descending, and that'll sort it by, so what it means is basically it means sort by yearly salary, descending. And the DESC is the is the key term you need to use if you want to sort descending. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so yearly salary is descending, so the highest salaries are at the top, going down, so descending. Now we can do order by with 2 columns or more. So let's have the same columns, but now let's sort by gender, ascending, and then yearly salary, descending. So that means females will go first, and then we'll sort all the females from highest to lowest, and then we'll have the males from highest to lowest. So let's show you there. So again, the females are at the top because F comes before M in the alphabet. And then notice here we have this person has the highest yearly salary, followed by her for females. And then for males, this person has the highest yearly salary, and then this person, and so on. So that's sorting by 2 columns. Now what I want to show you is this star database. So go back here. Okay, so this is a very interesting database, and you're going to see the data. It has almost 120,000 stars, and I think it's quite interesting. So let's, and the columns that I use, it actually has several different columns, but the columns I'm going to have is the proper star name, which is the full name of a star if it exists, the parsecs from Earth, light years from Earth. So 1 parsec is roughly 3.26156 light years. And I already converted it. We have the constellation full name and the apparent magnitude. And the apparent magnitude is the brightness as seen from Earth. And the smaller the value, the higher the apparent magnitude. Okay, so first let's select all star from star data. And we only get 1,000 rows because actually in MySQL Workbench by default it's set up to limit to 1,000 rows. There's actually over 100,000 rows. Let's run this second one here. Show how many rows are in the star data table. So we can do select count star. What that does is tell you how many rows are in if you do a select star. And note here, okay, actually there's about 120,000. I guess there's 119,626 rows. So that's quite a lot of data. And for a spreadsheet, I think this would be humongous and it would not be a good use case for a spreadsheet. This is a good use case for a database because there's so many rows. Okay, so now what I want to do is show you here. We're going to mainly use these 4 columns. The star name, light years from Earth, constellation full name, apparent magnitude, and what I want to do is sort it by light years from Earth, ascending, or actually I'll show you the same thing in a moment. This term is actually unnecessary, but we can still run it. Okay, so what this means is our own sun, and light years from Earth, it has 0. Technically, yeah, it would be in terms of light years, the sun is practically right next to us. Light years are an incredibly long distance. Basically, the sun is 8 or 9 light minutes away. Okay, so it's null because we don't consider it part of a constellation. And the apparent magnitude is this, so it's the brightest star we have. And I sorted it by the light years from Earth. So these stars, Proxima Centauri is the closest star to us outside of our own sun. And then these two stars, actually all these three stars are part of a trinary star system. And these aren't actually exactly I think this is just because when I converted it from parsecs to this, these two stars are very close to each other, but they're not exactly the same distance. I think it's just a limit of the conversion. And anyway, so we have all these different things, and you can see here. So these are we have Bernard star that's about 6 light years away. Then Wolf 359, and then we have these different ones: Sirius, Ross 154, and so on. So I think this database is very interesting. Now let's do this. Let's sort by apparent magnitude ascending. So what this means is we're going to sort by the brightest stars as seen from Earth. And again, the apparent magnitude is brightness as seen from Earth. So the brightest star, of course, is our own Sol, our own sun. Then we have Sirius, and Sirius is the brightest star in the night sky. Okay, again, we're ignoring our own star, which is the sun. So Sirius is the brightest star in the night sky, and then we have Canopus, Arcturus, and so on, Vega. So it's very interesting, and if you're into astronomy, you can learn a lot from this database. It's very interesting. Now what I want to do is select those similar things, but now let's make sure the constellation name is not null. So that's what we don't want null, and we want to sort by. We're going to do a group by. So we're going to select the constellation full name and the average light years group by the constellation full name. And what this shows you here is that these different constellations and the average light years from Earth, and a lot of these have hundreds of stars in them, or even thousands of stars. And this one here, it does a group by, and group by the average light years from Earth, or is that the same, or just the same one there? And then we do a group by the constellation full name, and then we do the what this is going to show you is the average apparent magnitude. It's very interesting is that most of the constellations are very similar apparent magnitude, with the average, that is. And let's see here. And finally, I'm running out of time here. What this is going to do is, let's do the last one here. We're going to select constellation name, apparent magnitude, group by constellation full name, sorted by average apparent magnitude, and make sure the constellation is not null. And this is the average apparent magnitude again. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this code. You can run on this from this site, and then what you can do is go to this URL and run the code yourself. So I'm going to show you here. We're going to do a show all the salary data. Now I can comment that out, and let's say, for example, you want to sort by the age, and this can, you see here we have the youngest at the top, the oldest at the bottom, and I'm doing the same commands as I did before for the salary data. And then, for example, let's say order by the yearly salary, so that would be yearly salary ascending. So basically the people of the lowest salary are at the top and the highest salary at the bottom. And then if we want to do it descending, so in the other order from highest to lowest, we've got this. So this person makes the most per year, and then next this person, and then this person, and so on. So this is the person's name, their gender, their career, and so on. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, I'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to or follow this channel. And see you in the next one, and I'll put a link to some of this data. Thank you.